Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to BYOB. In my case, this is BYO Bourbon. I hope you all have something wonderful to drink. This is Eight is Never Enough LMAO Improv. And tonight we're going to do a quick little show for you. This is adult themed, so if there are any children in the audience, make sure your parents know you're here. Other than that, please let me introduce my wonderful cast. We have Patrick and we have Evan. They're going to jump in right here. Awesome.
What's up, party people?
Yeah.
My neighbors are gonna be mad.
Let's go. Oh, Evan's got the wine. I got the I got the bourbon. What do you got, Pat?
This evening I'm enjoying a single cut 18 watt IPA, local
nice.
to Queens. Support your local businesses if you can, folks.
There we go. So this is an improv show. Everything is totally and utterly made up. You guys who are hanging out, watching the show, thank you so much for supporting us and supporting the arts and the improv community. One thing, we won't have you buzzing in to talk during the show because that's very confusing over Zoom. But what we want you to do is utilize the chat function. So if you have suggestions or random things you want to hear about, chat away in there and we will use those. Otherwise, we're just pulling random stuff from our random improv generators, and it's not nearly as fun as personalizing it for you guys in the chat. Other than that, we just have one little rule that we do, and that is the taxi rule.
Yo!
Thank you, guys. Normally when we are doing a show in Times Square, we will say taxi, and the entire audience yells yo. Obviously, in Zoom, this is a little more difficult. So type yo into the chat, or just think yo in your mind, but know that when we say taxi, thank you.
Am I backwards?
No, you're good.
I don't know how to make it work.
That's fine. Oi!
Oi!
The scene is over. We're going to start off with the first game for everyone here, and it's called Objection. What I need from the chat or anyone watching, give me a debate that you want to have, and not like a serious debate because it's 10 o'clock and we're drinking. Give us a debate. The classic is Star Wars versus Star Trek, but any kind of debate or anything like that. Otherwise, I will pull from my vast experience of debating stupid things late at night. Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to do a debate. We're going to do Xbox versus PlayStation. Xbox versus PlayStation is going to be the debate. Evan, which side of the argument would you like to take?
I will stay on Xbox.
Uh-huh. And Patrick, you've got the PlayStation.
Great.
And I will be your totally impartial judge. So I believe PlayStation came out first. So Patrick, why don't you start us off?
Yes. The year was 1998, and the world had just barely broken through in the world of three-dimensional games. So until PlayStation came along shortly after Nintendo 64, or maybe generally around the same. Either way, PlayStation became before Xbox.
Yeah, Evan.
He doesn't know what order things came out. He is making it up as he goes along, and that is not okay. When you start stating facts like that, like, you need to be precise. Like, I don't know him, so I'm not going to say what came out first because I don't know. But I do know that Xbox is the best. I have my Xbox. I have it connected to my games, to my HBO, to my
Objection! Just because you have a thing doesn't make it a better thing. It's just your preference.
Sustained.
Am I sustained with that? Great, cool. So I have a PlayStation because it is the superior console. I could also have my friend Amelia Fowler's HBO account hooked up to it. I also have Meg Riley's Netflix hooked up to it. The passwords are saved in there. You can have all these things on any device. The PlayStation is much more seamless.
He is just stealing people's things. That is not okay.
Overruled. We all poor, man.
Right. While I'm at it, I'm also stealing Disney Plus from my parents. But you know what I do pay for? And that's Hulu for some reason. I don't know why. The cheap one that comes with the ads. I was doing ad-supported, ad-free Hulu, but then I was like, you know what? Money's tight, baby. Oh, I gotta cut down the $12 a month and go to the $5.99 a month because times is tough for old Patty Reeds. But I digress, because if I didn't have this multitudes of entertainment that the PlayStation would offer, I get free games every month as a PlayStation Plus member, and you can't beat that deal, baby.
Yes, Evan.
It's like pretty elite. Like, you're in the 1% of the PlayStationers. I don't think everyone's like that.
Sustained. Not everyone does have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've never even heard of that before. I buy my games. I have my 10 games because that's what I can afford, and that's what I play. Do I want to play more? Yeah. Do I? No, because I can't afford it.
Oh, Evan, I need to object here because I need you to open up your mind about this service. I think Xbox actually has a similar one, but it's worse with worse games, where you just pay like $10 a month and then you get 2 free games every month with your subscription. That's much cheaper.
Objection.
Than buying the
Yes,
games at full
Evan.
price.
Yeah, I mean, I could pay for the $10 a month if I was stealing every one of my subscription services from my family like you are, Pat. But I pay for that shit. Okay? I gotta pay for it. So that is what it is. So I played my couple games. I got my, like Call of Duty.
30 seconds.
I got my... I don't play many. What's the alien one? Oh, I play that one.
Objection.
Yeah.
Objection. You don't have Spider-Man, baby. The best freaking game in the world. You don't got Spider-Man. You don't got, what else I got over here? You don't got Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, you probably have that. You don't have Uncharted. You don't have Ratchet and Clank. They're all made into movies.
I just got to bring out the point that I'm gay. I barely play any games, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Sustained and Taxi.
No!
Oh, Evan wins the
games I don't play
by pulling out the gay card. Lovely. Great. We're gonna play another game. We're gonna play another game here, and that is going to be called Call-In Show. Evan, why don't you set this one up?
All right. So basically, for this game, I'm going to be hosting a radio show. All right. What I need from everyone watching, if you can just type in a suggestion into your chat function. If you haven't opened it up yet, it's down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. And just something to talk about, something that is on topic today, so, a serious, topic that we want to talk about. Like, it's a talk show, so, something important. Team Xbox, all right? That would be
delayed reaction there, but they're on TV. Oh, Disney closing. Oh,
Disney, I didn't even know that's real.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Now you have to do a talk show about it.
I think I do. All right, yeah. So this is going to be a talk show about Disney closing until 2021. Throughout the show, I'm going to be getting in some callers. They are going to be Pat and Nathan, so they'll be calling in and giving me their opinion. All right, so here we go. All right, and welcome to Talk Hour with Evan. I'm your host, Evan, and I'm here talking about the hot topics of today. Now, I don't know if you heard about this, but I heard Disney is closing until 2021. Can we just say how much of a mind blower that is? I mean, I knew they were closed for a couple of months, but I need to go to Disney. It's like, how am I going to get there? Even if I get there and they're closed, like, can I see it? Can I peek over the gates? Like, I need to get my Disney fix. I go once a year. If I don't get to go once a year, I can't even imagine what would happen. All right, let's take a call. I think I have a call coming in. My line number 1.
Yes, sir. Yes. My name is Muriel, and I am from Celebration, Florida. And I would just like to comment about the fact that Disney is closing. I work at Disney parks and I sweep up all of the people's trash. And let me just tell you what kind of trash people bring to Disney. People bring all kinds of trash. They bring paper products. They bring plastic products. They bring literal physical poop. There's poop on the ground all the time. I gotta sweep it up. So Disney closing is just not something that disappoints me. I'm getting some sweet unemployment from the Disney Corporation and from the government.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Hang up on that caller. Whoa, okay. So, we got some good info out of that. I guess that people throw out a lot of stuff in the Disney parks. I didn't think people would bring their garbage there, but I mean, if you're going there, you might as well bring some garbage to throw out. All right. We got another caller, line number 2. You are connected. How are you?
Howdy, Al.
Hey,
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Long time listener, first time caller. Hello. My name is Wyatt Fencer, and
Hello, Wyatt.
I'm for one am very, very excited that Disney is closed. You know why? Because I actually own a zoo very close to Orlando, Florida. I own a zoo in Sarasota, Florida. You can come down there and you can get your Disney animal measure fix if you like, because we got cubs, we got tiger cubs.
All right. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to disconnect you right now. I apologize, but
come on, follow me on Twitter.
We can't have it. We can't. I do not, I am not proud of the Tiger King phenomenon right now. That is animal abuse. I do not want to support that in any way. I am sorry, listeners, that you had to be exposed to that. We have Animal Kingdom at Disney. Go there. It's the best place. All right, caller number 3.
Well, hello there. My name is Reverend James T. Kerbuckle, and I'd just like to say it's such a good thing that Disney closed. It is God punishing Disney for all of the bad stuff that they did, including driving the business away from the Holy Land experience right there in Orlando, Florida. Thank you, TNN. Thank you, Saint Jesus, and thank you. I'll take your response off the air.
Okay, but oh boy, oh my goodness, I do apologize for that as well. Disney is a family-friendly place. We don't support any specific religion there. That's what makes it so great. Everyone's welcome at Disney. That's why I go every year. You know, I have to get my Disney fix. All right, caller number 4, you are up.
Thank you so much for taking me call. It's me, yes, of course, I am the long pirate, Johnny Quay, and I, of course, have lost my employment since I can no longer ride in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Oh, it's been tough. It's been tough when you only have one outfit to wear.
Sure,
and you're
sir, I see your face. I see your face. I know you are not a puppet, sir. Can you please, talk with your real voice and head?
No, I can't. No. Evan, it's me, your father.
Oh my no! Dad, get off the camera! Disconnect!
Evan, this is your mother. Is this how you'll use the?
You're not. Mom, you're not supposed to connect.
Are you on the Wi-Fi? Are you on the Wi-Fi?
Well, is your father there?
Get off the camera! Put your face away from the screen!
Wait, hang on. How do I do it? Kid, honey.
Evan, we're so proud of you.
I'm not, you little snot-nosed brat. Start paying rent.
Oh my goodness, folks! I am so sorry about this. I just gave my parents computers last week, and you can see this is what happens with that. I mean, at least they're not drinking bleach, right?
Honey, are we out of bleach? I'm thirsty.
Oh, Dad, get away! Get away! Okay, on that note, I'm gonna have to catch a taxi.
Oh, that was silly. All right, guys, we've got another game here. This one is going to be for all 3 of us. We're going to do a mixtape or a playlist, a Spotify playlist
and Patrick is going to provide all the music for this playlist. What is, from the chat, what is an everyday, ordinary household object? You guys are spending all your time inside. You're probably able to see all kinds of everyday, ordinary household objects. What are some everyday, ordinary household objects that we have that are around the house? Use that chat function right there. Otherwise, I'll pick one looking around. Household objects. All right, a sponge. Great. This is going to be our Spotify playlist, all about. Oh, I like that even better. Let's go with sponge. Let's go with the cleaning supplies playlist. How about that? We got sponge and toilet paper and stuff like that. This is our cleaning supplies playlist. Well, hello there. We'll get you right back to CNN right after this. But first, do we have a deal for you?
We do. Today on our show, we have a wonderful album. It's a 10 CD album.
Yeah. Remember CDs?
The fact that we even have them, we should be charging you extra. Price gouging. You're right.
Oh, but speaking of price gouging, we have an amazing album all about the cleaning supplies that you use on an everyday basis.
Yes. Now, my first one is one of my favorite songs. I heard it the first day, and when I first heard it, I just felt so warm inside. And it's called TP Up There. TP Up There.
Oh yeah. Hey honey, what you doing? I'm stuck in the bathroom. I think something brewing in my butt. Yeah. I need to reach around and clean it up, but oh, looks like we're out. Oh no, there's no TP up there. There's no TP up there. Can someone please spare me a square? Oh yeah, there's no TP up there. There's no TP up there. Can someone please share me a square? Oh yeah.
Wow, that was something, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, Evan is muted. Well, that's the way we like him. But
I'm sorry. I forgot my TV was still up there. You couldn't hear me.
now, Evan, you like Broadway musicals, don't you?
Oh, do I ever?
And what is your favorite musical?
Oh, my favorite musical is the one, the only, Windows Are Us.
Wow, I was going for SpongeBob, but that's okay.
Oh, okay, well.
But that's all right, because everyone knows all these wonderful songs from SpongeBob, just like this next amazing song, Under the Sea, It's All Wet.
Okay, let's hear it.
Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the undersea land. It's so magical down here, children. Just hold my hand. Psych! I'm pot fish. You can hold my fin. Welcome to magic land, where you can't breathe unless you've got gills like me. There's lots of fishies here. Some are nice, but some will kill you. But you don't have to fear when you're with me, yeah. 'Cause under the sea, it's wet down here. You'd lose that bet, yeah. Under the sea, it's wet down here. Hope you brought your bathing suit. and some scuba diving clothes too. It's hard to whistle down here. It's hard to whistle when you don't have lung support, and also everybody's got little blubberfish. Blub, 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 blub.
Well, that was just like I remember it on Broadway.
Yeah, I never saw it, but now I really wish I did.
Neither did anyone else. That's why it's no longer there.
Oh, you know, that all that water reminded me of my next favorite song on this album.
Oh, yes.
It's on disc number 6. It's called, I'm sure you remember it. It's called Bidet Any Day. Bidet Any Day.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I just tried this new thing when I went down to Japan, and it cleaned my butthole real good. Oh yeah, man. They called it a bidet. It really saved my day. I'll take that day any day. Take that day any day. Take that day. Take that day. Take that day any day. Woo! Yeah!
Yes. You know, if you have run out of toilet paper and it's stuck up there, just use the bidet.
Just shoot it out. That's what I always say.
Even if you don't have a bidet, just splash some water up there, you'll be fine.
Just a little, you know.
Just like that. Well, we'll get you back to Anderson Cooper 360 right now after we catch this taxi.
Go!
All right. We're going to have a game now for all three of us, and this is one of my favorite games. Partly because it makes me so sad. What I need from you guys, we're gonna need several suggestions from our people. The first suggestion I need is any tool, any kind of tool that you may use, any tool. Looking ahead, the second suggestion will be any location, and the third will be any activity. Very nice, Patrick. I enjoyed that in the chat there. All right. Oh, okay. Nice. Let's go with screwdriver. So this game is called Sex With Me. You guys will get the idea of how this works. So sex with me is like a screwdriver. Sex with me is like a screwdriver.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver because I can never seem to find it when I want it.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver. You always get offered a flathead when all you want is a Phillips.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver. I always try to go righty-tighty, but really it's lefty-loosey.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver. Be careful of stripping. Stripping the screw.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver. It's half vodka.
Okay, that's a different kind of screwdriver.
Sex with me is like a screwdriver. You can use a machine, but it's always better by hand.
Ooh, that's good.
Nice. Give me a location, any location. Give me any location in our chat there. Thank you guys for giving us home. Sure. Sex with me is like home, guys. Sex with me is like home. Sex with me is like home. I've been here way too long.
Sex with me is like home because when it's happening, never wearing pants.
Sex with me is like home. It was free for a while, but eventually you got to pay for it.
Sex with me is like home. My mom is sick of hearing me around.
Sex with me is like home. It used to be a lot of people around. Now it's just my cat.
Aw.
How about let's switch it up? Swimming pool. Sex with me is like a swimming pool.
Oh, I just had a good home one. Okay. Uh, sex with me is like a swimming pool. Be careful of the deep end.
I was just gonna say that. Something like that.
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. No running!
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. No lifeguard on duty. I don't know.
It should be.
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. I always wear my floaties.
I don't. Now I can't get that mental image out of my head.
Can you imagine?
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. Can you tell I peed?
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. I'm always worried about who peed.
Whoa. Sex with me is like a swimming pool. Twice a day. It's adults only.
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. Is that a chocolate bar or is that?
Sex with me is like a swimming pool above ground.
Sex with me is like a swimming pool. It's something I assume only rich people have.
You assume you only have okay.
Yeah. Finally, guys, give me an activity that you would do in the outdoors. Give me an activity you would do in the outdoors. Camping, great. Sex with me, ooh, and skating. We might take both of these. Sex with me is like, sorry, reading the chat. Sex with me is like camping. Sex with me is like camping.
Sex with me is like camping. You should tie your food up in trees. I don't know. I redact that answer.
Sex with me is like camping. It always seems like a good idea when you set out. Then a couple hours in, you're wishing you were back home.
Sex with me is like camping. I'm constantly getting bit.
Sex with me is like camping. I did it all the time when I was a kid. Now, not so much.
What? What?
Sex with me is like camping. I still haven't figured out how to start the fire.
It was always burning since the world was turning.
Let's bring this home. I'm afraid of this one. Let's bring this home with hunting bears. Sex with me is like hunting bears.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. You should tie your foot up in a tree. I redact.
Sex with me is like a bear. I just pretend I'm dead.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. The end. I'm just looking for bears.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. I'm in it for the hat. Bear skin hat.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. There's a lot of fur.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. It all starts with some swipes on Grindr.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. I always have to use mace.
Sex with me is like hunting bears. In most states, it's illegal.
Oh.
And taxi.
Yo!
All right, guys, we're gonna have one final game here, and we didn't want to leave you guys without any education. We think that quarantine is a time for you guys to learn some things, to hopefully be entertained while you learn them, but most importantly, to better ourselves and to learn some things. So Pat and Evan are going to give you a lecture, and we have a slideshow prepared to help you out. What is something that you always wanted to learn about? They're going to give a lecture on what's something that we always wanted to learn about that maybe now would be a good time to learn about. Got that into the chat there. What's something you always wanted to learn about? Something that would make for a good lecture topic. A good lecture.
While they're typing, I say thanks to the kind comments. Is someone saying this is the funny night for us? Thanks,
oh, nice.
Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a
Awesome
fun
show from Amber Johnson. Like, thank
Funny
you
night
guys
for
for
us, too.
watching.
Next week we're gonna do this again, I believe. We're more funny when you drink. So if you're over the age of 21, or not worried about anyone breaking in because it's quarantine, then make sure you bring something with us next week. You know what, guys? On the theme of tonight, you can take this however you want to. I think we need an expansive lecture all about the birds and the bees. An expansive lecture all about the birds and the bees. So I'm gonna duck out of here. You guys stay on, and we'll get an expansive lecture all about the birds and the bees.
Hello. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right? That's great. Welcome to Education Hour. I'm your host, Skip Intro. That's right. Your host, Skip Intro here, and I'm here with my co-host. Please introduce yourself there to everyone.
Hi, I'm Milton. I'm his nephew. I'm very excited to be here today.
That's right. My nephew, he's just visiting. Of course, he was stolen from my family to America.
Yep.
He's not a native Australian anymore, are you, Milton?
No, land of the free, home of the brave.
Well, we're pretty free down in Australia. We're free to get killed by scorpions. All right. Well, this is a little topic. Milton, you know about this, about the birds and the bees, right?
Yeah, I learned about it last year.
That's right. The birds and the bees, of course. It's an English language idiomatic expression and euphemism that refers to sexual intercourse. Yes, you know all about sexual intercourse, don't you? Don't you, Milton?
Yeah, I do. It's when a bird and a bee love each other a lot, and they love each other so much that they make another bird or a bee.
That's completely wrong. Here, I'm going to teach you, Milton. I'm going to teach you a little bit. All right, just take a look at this slide here.
Okay.
You can see what we have here. We have a bunch of young college graduates. Now, you know what they're going to do with their degrees? You know what they're going to do, Milton?
They're gonna get jobs, right?
Well, first, they're going to go home and pork each other because they got summer. They got summer around the corner. So it's mating season, you know? So you see this redhead up here. She's on around. She's looking for a mate. She's got her bestie right there. Two besties, of course. It's a nice, diverse picture. Of course, we've got one of every color. Apparently, that's how they do these, graduations. They can't have everybody intermingling. That'd be inappropriate, wouldn't it?
You know, I can see that she's looking at someone very seductively. It's that guy with the watch.
That's right. Well, let's see what happens in the next slide here after she pursues her mate.
What's gonna happen? I'm so excited. Oh, wow.
That's right. This is her mate right here. This is, of course, Stanley. He's a team member at Costco. And, of course, he works hard. He is a suitable mate because not only does he have a penis, great for her, but he also has a job. So he's going to be able to support that child. They're going to create a child together, Milton. You know how they're going to do that?
I do know. My daddy told me that when you get a lot of toilet paper, you just gotta wad it up and clog up the drain, so it makes the water come up really high, and then who's ever sitting on it gets wet. That's what my dad told me is how you have a baby.
I'm sorry to tell you, Milton, your father's a terrible person, and I'm going to call child services on him. Let's see the next slide here so I can show you exactly what happens. This is real human anatomy, Milton. You want to pay attention here. All right, now you see what he did there was he pursued the pussy, as they call it, and they call it the pussy. They call it the pussy.
I heard that. I heard you can grab them. You can grab them whenever you want, right?
Well, maybe your president over there in America, he told you could just grab it by the pussy whenever you want. It's not right. It's not consent. But here we have consent, of course. Yeah, of course, a Costco team member there, he got consent because he was pursued by a young redhead college graduate, and now they're just making little kittens, aren't they? And you know how they do that, Milton?
Yeah, they take the little kitten with the tongue out. They gotta tap the tongue 3 times, and you gotta make a wish.
It's more or less right. You know, I don't even know why I bother asking you. It's clear that you've not gone through sexual education. Let's see the next slide here so I can educate you further on the ways of sexuality. Of course, this, of course, is one thing you need to do before you have intercourse, of course, is you need to lubricate properly. That's right. So you know what you do? You see that tongue right there, Milton, yes?
Tap it.
Yes, you need to use that tongue, and you need to lubricate properly all the genitalias, your penises, your vaginas, your pussies, and your testicles. If your testicles are properly lubricated, it's not that important. It just feels really nice.
Oh, I understand that. Sometimes I don't prepare for a test, and it really hurts me. So I can understand that if you're not prepared for the test to cause.
Well, if you see right here, next to the, of course, the face there, we've got two little large chunks of sperm flying in the wrong place. That's a bad job for that Costco team member. He's going to want to get that sperm in the vagina and not in the mouth. All right, because you can't have to make a baby that way. Does that make sense, Milton?
Yeah. You gotta put the octagons on the face.
Well, you know, we had the graphics team kind of draw that up, and they were in a rush job, so they don't quite look like that. But let's see the next slide here. Maybe it'll be a little more clear if further there. All right. Well, this is, of course, yes, very, very important stuff here. This is, of course, basically the general flow of sexual intercourse, the birds and the bees, they call it. It's all metaphor. You see, Milton, it's all metaphor for actual intercourse. Right here, we've got the danger zone. That's the butthole. You don't want to go there. That's bad. That's no-go. You want to stay on the hot side there with the unicorns. You've heard of a unicorn, right, Milton?
I love unicorns. I have one that lives in my closet. I play with it every night.
Is it a unicorn, Milton, or is it something in your pants? Is it something in your trousers?
I mean, it has a horn.
Yeah, well, you pull on that horn a little bit, you find a little fun surprise. Is that what you find?
Yeah, magic comes out.
That magic is what the birds and the bees is, Milton. You see that? And if you keep going on the right side, or you keep going on the hot side, on the pleasurable side for the intercourse, for the mates, you stay away from the no-go, you stay away from the danger zone, you stay away from those terrible people on the top side, on the left side of this, you'll end up being marriage material. That's where you want to be, Milton, all right?
Hey, what's a tranny?
That's just someone who decided that they realized that they needed to become who they actually are, all right? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly healthy, and it's perfectly very, very beautiful thing when somebody is able to realize their actual person, all right?
Okay, cool.
Are you talking about like a Transylvanian vampire?
I love vampires.
All right, well, that's the wrong kind of trait. All right, let's see the next slide here before Milton gets a little too excited. All right, now this is a little bit of a recap of what we've gone so far. What do you want to do? Number one, you want to write a blog about, of course, how to have birds and the bees, how to get all your jogging stuff going there. You want, of course, these are all different types of dates. You see, to court somebody in order to intercourse. Does that make sense, Milton?
I heard court is bad. Do you get intercourse at court?
No. You go to court when you're not paying your child support.
And then you get the intercourse.
As long as you're keeping your spouse happy with all these handy-dandy lists, you take them to their favorite restaurants. You always write them thank you notes in their favorite fonts. You always write them beautiful vacation spots. You keep that all right there, you'll be just fine. And you see at the bottom there, favorite movies. What's your favorite movie, Milton?
My favorite movie is Ghostbusters, the female version. Because, yeah.
Yes, Ghostbusters answer the call. Far superior than any other Ghostbusters film I've ever seen. That's right. And you know why? Because girls rule and boys rule. Let's see the next slide here. Let's see the next slide.
Oh, look at that.
You know what that is, Milton?
That's a man.
That's right. It's not just any man.
Is he a big man?
He's a big man, all right.
Big, powerful man?
That's right. He's a big, powerful man. He, of course.
I feel like he's a good singer.
That's questionable, his singing talents. That's right. However, he does know something that we don't know. That's the art of Californication.
Oh.
You know what that means, Milton?
Californication?
It's right.
Is that like intercourse?
No, it's just the sixth album from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let's see the next slide. Last slide. There we go. Let's see, it's there. And of course, Milton, you've been such a great assistant here. I hope you learned a few things about the birds and the bees. Did you?
I did. I think a lot. I'm going to tell all the kids in my class about it.
That's great. And you know what? You may be a little boy now, but someday you might grow up and realize that you weren't meant to be a boy. You can change your pronouns. You can do whatever you like. All right? It's perfectly beautiful. And I love you no matter what. And you need to get away from your father as soon as possible.
I've heard that before.
That's right. Well, in the meantime, let's get your taxi.
Yo!
One more taxi, guys.
Yo!
All right, that was special. Well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, me. Thank you, you all. Thank you to Walt who set this up. If you want to find out more, follow us at 8 Improv. That's at 8 Improv across all social media platforms and such. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Thanks to the pirate. We will catch you next time, next week. Have a good one, guys. Taxi.
Yo! Bye.